But it's because I wasn't authentic. I couldn't ask for help. I didn't want to admit to my limitations. So I had to pretend to be that person. I wasn't experienced enough. And that was horrible. And I'm not greedy. That wasn't me. I wasn't being authentic. You need to find yourself and need to know who you are, because you're doing something that you're naturally good at, and that's brilliant. And you would then start thriving. This first episode is all about authenticity. Hi, welcome to Always Learning, Better Management, Better Lives podcast. We got over the hurdle of the first podcast as the introduction into who I am, a little bit about my story. Now we're moving into the 9 episodes that hopefully I can get the message across that my mission is to help people improve their skills as a manager, and also so I can learn how to manage people better. So it's a process for all of us. And this first episode is all about authenticity. Why are we scared of being authentic? I don't know. It blows my mind. I've recently come up with a theory that why are we worried about authenticity when we're all going to be dead soon anyway. And that mindset's actually changed me slightly to thinking, why does it matter? I think it really matters because people fear judgment over anything. So the fear of me showing myself in front of everybody and going, right, now judge me, really is quite daunting. But it's a muscle. That's what I think it is. So I'm practicing this. I go to Toastmasters with a brilliant group of people, and that's learning about how to communicate and talk in front of people. We do table topics. We have to stand up for 2 minutes and discuss things without any prior knowledge of what that subject may be, which is very daunting. And then I've just done an icebreaker recently, which was 7 minutes of talking in front of maybe 12 people. It's practicing that muscle and realising actually you are your own worst judge, and people generally are supportive, and just need to get over yourselves, and this is big thing for me for the podcast. I need to get over myself. Yes, I'm silly, I'm a geek, I speak poorly, I don't have great abilities to communicate, I don't think, but it's not about me. It's about me putting my message across to help other people do better. So authenticity, and this is me being completely authentic with you guys. I struggled through my career to being authentic. I struggled with my teenage years being authentic. I went to quite a rough school. It was a lot of fighting. I wasn't a fighter, but I had to pretend to be a fighter. I had to pretend to be aggressive. I then just put on this persona that I was a bit moody, bit grot, bit nasty. And that's not me deep down. I just wasn't my true self. So, and then that went through my career. The first jobs that I'd done, I was sold as a brilliant project manager with loads of experience, or site manager with loads of experience. I didn't have any, so I went in there with false pretenses. So I had to pretend to be that person. Then I joined another company. So I've always been or nearly always a subcontractor. So I've actually worked for a lot of different businesses. So I've got quite an understanding of how different environments are. I haven't stayed with the one company for my entire career. And being in construction, it's many projects over that period that I've produced, and also worked for different builders. So the formula to what I've learned and the different parts of the jigsaw have always changed. So I've actually had quite big learning curves on many times, which helps, and this is probably why we're here as well. So another company I work for, I felt like I should know what I was doing at that point. So I didn't ask for help. And this is the one that we talked about previously with the server room, which I had the meltdown and had to go and see my stepdad, and tears and messy. But it's because I wasn't authentic. I couldn't ask for help. I didn't want to admit to my limitations. And then there was a point where I oversold myself. So I listened to people about my value. So I went to a company. They asked me what I wanted as a subcontractor. I told them. They agreed. It was a lot of money. It was ridiculous. It was probably nearly double what I probably should have been on. So I had to pretend to be that person. I wasn't experienced enough. And that was horrible. You know, and I'm not greedy. That wasn't me. I wasn't being authentic. So again, it all doesn't quite work. You need to find yourself and need to know who you are to make this journey together with us work. So being authentic again, I've put to ChatGPT, my little friend, I've put 30, or I've asked it to give me some questions so we can underline who you are and what you're about. And it looks at your strengths and weaknesses. And it's given me 38 questions, and I'm going to put these in the notes on Spotify. And we'll break them down in the next couple of episodes. I don't want these to be too long, and I don't want to be too structured. I don't want to lose people, is where I'm coming from, really. I could sit down and we could work through these 38 questions together, but I'd probably lose nearly everybody that might be watching this. Or we talk about the reasons as to why it's important, and maybe you'll just go, do you know what? It's worth having a look, because I need to understand who I really am and what I am. And these questions are really good, actually. And it looks at your weaknesses and your strengths, you know, and you have to realize that a strong person, a strong manager, is curious of the mistakes that they make. A bad manager doesn't admit to their mistakes and blames other people. So again, it's being authentic. It's knowing about you. It's knowing about question why you've done something that way, and then you'll expand and grow. So these 38 questions are really good. I'm going to put them in the footnotes. I haven't quite worked out that bit either, of being authentic. I'll let you know. And then we're going to kind of build the platform from there and how we're going to improve. And I'm going to get someone on that's going to be helping me discuss about communication and how best we can do this. I've also got my colleague / nephew, brilliant guy, who we bounce off really well. He's going to be joining me for a few of these podcasts. And yeah, we're just going to structure it. We're going to break it down. The next 3 or next 2 more podcasts is really going to be about these 38 questions. And then I think once you understand where your strengths and weaknesses are, maybe, and this should be the direction that we move into, let's focus on where your strengths lay. What people try and do is that they try to be perfect at everything. What's the point? Why not really, really be strong at what you're naturally good at? You're wasting energy working on the stuff that you're weak on. You know, let's find what we're strong at. Let's push what we're strong at and tell people. You know, as a operations director now, if somebody come up to me and said, Dave, I'm not really good at systems. I kind of struggle with that element of it. I'd like a bit of support, but what I'm really, really good is analysing data and understanding where potentially we failed on that project and where potentially we could do better on it. And I'm really good at analysing that kind of information. And I'm like, whoa, well, that's brilliant. That's really good. because I could do with that person. I could support you with the bits that you're not so strong on. You know, it could be the same that you could be like, I'm really good communicator. I really enjoy communicating with people, and that's a real strength. And then I go, oh, brilliant. And he wants it as well, or she wants it as well. So maybe I'll push that person into a bit more of a communication position. You know, let's bring that out more, because you're allowing me to hear what you're engaged in, where your energy is, you know, and I can use that and try and make it fit within the business. So it's really important. And once we understand where your strengths are, potentially you can enable them, and then you're working where you're naturally gifted at doing, which potentially means that you could actually really enjoy your job because you're doing something that you're naturally good at, you know, and that's brilliant. And you would then start thriving. So I'm going to leave it there because, again, I just want to keep people engaged. And this is, you know, it's not meant to be a long, laborious journey. This is meant to be, you know, short, sharp and sweet. I want to build listeners. I want to build followers, and then we'll expand and we'll go on and on and on. So we got 38 questions. Don't necessarily have to do them straight away. Maybe listen to the next couple of podcasts and then go back to it. See how you feel. You know, you don't even have to do them at all. Just listen to me going on, and maybe something might strike home. You know, being authentic. That's my son just coming now. So be good.